Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the ordinary meeting of Council, Thursday the 22nd of August 2024, to commence at 5:30. Kaya, Nala Karak Nunga Mord, Kan Karak Ninja Puja, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands in which we meet. We have no visitors, it's just us tonight and all the people in the wide world web. Announcements by the President. I would just like to acknowledge the passing of three very special people who each in their own way contributed to making our Shire a better place. Mrs. Helen Demetrio, Mr. John Brown and Pastor Doug Simcox. We extend our sympathies to each of their families and pass on our condolences to Mr. Omade if he could pass on the passing of his brother-in-law, Mr. Brown. Thank you. I was fortunate to attend Vietnam Veterans Day on Sunday, the 18th of August. There were 130 servicemen and women from various sub-branches throughout our area. I acknowledge their service to our country and congratulate the Manjimup RSL for yet another fantastic event that they held in our undercover area in Brockman Street. We went down to, there's something very exciting happening in Pemberton. We went down the other night to see if we could all become movie stars. The benefits that this will bring to our community in Pemberton through employment, accommodation needs, the food, the tours, and the coverage of our region is fantastic, and I am very much looking forward to seeing some rising stars on the big screen in the near future. I would also, unfortunately, Councillor Ventris is not here, but I would like to pass on my congratulations to Mrs. Ventris, Deanne Ventris, and her team for the Pemby's Got Talent event that they held last weekend. I believe that there may even be a new resident that has come out of that who was a surprise show person and who's very keen to now move to the area. So congratulations and well done to everyone that's been holding events in our region in the last couple of weeks. Attendance, 3.1 apologies. We have Councillor Darren, Councillor Ventris.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, we have an apology from Councillor Ventris, who is unwell, and we have an approved leave of absence for Councillor Darren and also for Councillor Omade. However, he has materialised.
He's gracing us with his presence. Declarations of interest.
Thank you, Madam President. Excuse me, I have two declarations of impartiality. One from Councillor Ivey in relation to item 9.11.1. The subject matter is a request to access the Arts and Culture Reserve Funds for the exhibition titled Walking Through a Songline. And the nature of the interest held is that Councillor Ivey is a community member on the RAP Advisory Committee, which is the Reconciliation Action Plan Advisory Committee. Madam President has also declared an impartiality interest, this time in relation to item 9.9.1, which relates to proposed sporting grounds maintenance. And the nature of the interest held is that Madam President's son plays for the Dean Mill, I'm presuming, football club.
Yes, it is. Best footy club in the world. Okay, public question time. There are none. Response to public questions taken on notice with Mr. Sorokin, and the details and answer to that is on our website as part of the agenda. Public question time, I'm not going to go through that spiel because there is no one here for public question time. Item 6, presentations, petitions. We have nil. Presentations, I have 2. We were very fortunate to attend the Walga Awards evening on the 2nd of August. one of the awards we received was for the 5 ribbons of road safety. I would like to acknowledge and present this award to our Director of Works and Services and congratulate him and his team for the achievement they have made to achieve and be awarded the Roadwides Council 2024 5 ribbons. We are the only Shire in Western Australia that achieved all 5 ribbons. It covers development, consultation, planning, and the holistic view that we look at our road safety within the Shire of Manjimup. So, congratulations, Mr. Lears, and please extend our congratulations to your team.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Now, I don't have the enormous frame that Councillor Omaday received, which was quite the award, I must say. But I would like to acknowledge the award that Councillor Omaday received. It is a very worthy award. It is the top gong for the West Australian Local Government Association. We are very proud of what you do and the work that you are and things that you have achieved in your lifetime of service through government, state and local government. So, Councillor Omaday, congratulations, and we acknowledge all that you've done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President.
And the huge plaque. Deputations. We have.
Sorry, Madam Chair, if
That's
I
fine.
can interrupt just before you do go on, if that's okay. You yourself, I don't know if this was talked about at the in the other in the part of the meeting when I wasn't here before, but congratulations to our president who has won a scholarship to, and have we got that? Was this going to happen? Was it? Sorry,
No, it wasn't.
Have I precluded something?
It's named after a local...
Jackie Dodd, who's a trainer. Yeah.
So it's fantastic, and I think that the fact that you've won that and are committed to do that study just shows your commitment to what you're doing in the job that you've undertaken. So
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you very much. And I will all be calling on you to help me, so that'll be fine. Thank you very much. 6.3 deputations, we have none. 6.4 delegates reports, there are nil. And 6.5 conference reports, we have nil. Confirmation of the previous minutes. Councillor Ivey.
I move that the minutes of the ordinary meeting of council held on the 1st of August 2024 be confirmed as a true and accurate record.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Wilcox. Can we put that to the vote, please, councillors? All those in favour? Carried 7-0. Okay, motions of which previous notice has been given. There are nil. Section 9, officers' reports. All councillors have had the agenda for 1 week, giving us time to thoroughly review each item. This meeting is the only time that councillors are able to formally debate agenda items. I will read out each item listed in the agenda, and any councillor will be able to identify an agenda item they wish to debate. These items will be listed on the board behind me. All items not identified by councillors to be debated will be moved in accordance with the officer's recommendation in one motion as listed in the agenda and moved en bloc for voting purposes. If the item is not listed on the board and is moved en bloc, it will be passed as per the officer's recommendation. Following this, council will consider the remaining items in agenda order. 9.3, Finance and Administration. 9.3.1, Shire Financial Payments for July 2024 is taken out, please. 9.3.2, Monthly Statement of Financial Activity June 2024. 9.5, Statutory Planning. 9.5.1, Consideration of Submissions and Final Adoption of Amendment 30 to Local Planning Scheme Number 4. 9.5.2, Advocacy for the Prevention of the Polyphagous Shot Hole Borer is taken out, please. 9.5.3, Proposed Review of Local Planning Policy 6.1.23, Container Deposit Infrastructure, and 6.1.24, Planning Precinct Exemptions. 9.5.4, proposed new standard timeframe for development approval commencement is taken out, please. 9.5.5, delegated planning decisions, July 2024. 9.6, building services. 9.6.1, proposed review of council building policies. 7.2.2, building permit fees, refunds. 7.2.3, building permit fees, waiver. And 7.2.4, building applications, land without legal access. 9.7, Ranger and Emergency Services. 9.7.1, Proposed Annual Fire Break and Fuel Hazard Reduction Notice 2024-2025. 9.9, Community and Recreation Services. 9.9.1, Proposed Project Management Plan for Review of Sporting Ground Maintenance Agreements. 9.11, Libraries and Cultural Services. 9.11.1, Request to access Arts and Culture Reserve Funds for the Walking Through a Songline exhibition is absolute and taken out. 9.16, Advisory Committees. 9.16.1, Unconfirmed minutes of the Bushfire Advisory Committee meeting held 24th of July 2024. Would someone like to move them? Councillor Ivey.
I move that council adopt the recommendations contained in the council officers and committee reports on pages 1 to 46 of the agenda, with the exception of those on the board.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Mylan. Can we put that to the vote, please, councillors? All those in favour? Carried 7-0. Okay. Page 7. 9.3.1, Shire financial payments for July 2024. Councillor Amadei.
Madam President, I move as per the officer's recommendation.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Ivey. Councillor Amadei, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, Madam President, I'll be very brief. I'm certainly in the habit nowadays of going through all the attachments on 9.3.1 subsection 1, and I think it's important to note how much money we spend of ratepayers' funds. So if you look at the payments total 2.745 million, and they're spread right across the whole community. Obviously there are accounts that where funds are spent outside of the district, but a lot of the funds are spent within the district. So it's important for ratepayers to know that they can go straight into the Shire's website, go to the minutes of the meeting, go to the attachment, and they can trawl through all the payments that we've made over the last month.
Yep, for July.
Over the last month. And it is a significant amount of money. I just wanted to make that point.
Thank you. Councillor Ivey? No? Are there any other speakers? Okay, let's put it to the vote then, councillors. All those in favour? Carried 7-0. Page 17. 9.5.2, advocacy for preventing spread of the polyphagous shot hole borer. Councillor Winfield.
As per officer's recommendation, with the addition of a further clause 4, request Shire representatives on the Warren Blackwood Alliance of Council Board and the West Australian Local Government Association South West Country Zone meeting to seek support for a collaborative South West local government community communication campaign. The campaign should focus on raising awareness of the potential consequences of polyphagous shot hole borer reaching production orchards due to their introduction of wood material from Perth metropolitan area. To enhance the campaign's impact, consideration should be given to a media presence on Forest Highway and South West Highway.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Ivey. Councillor Winfield, would you like to speak to the motion?
Briefly, before my voice gives out completely. I saw the control centre for the polyphagous shot hole borer in late 2023. It's a room about the size of this one, with probably about 20 or 30 people on computers tracking where stuff's going on. There's equally that many people in the field monitoring the traps. The traps for those who are involved in horticulture would be the ones we saw for potato psyllid. They're a green thing with a yellow sticky thing inside, and they put a pheromone in from the preferred host, which is maple from overseas, and it attracts the insects to it. The people monitoring the there's that many people monitoring the pest as there are monitoring the computers. So I'm confident that DPIRDS is doing what it can technically to eradicate the pest. Excuse me. But as I pointed out earlier on in the day, the best way to keep it out of our area is by community involvement and community education. So I advocate you support my motion and the additional clause. Thank you.
Councillor Ivey?
Yeah, I concur with that. I noticed on Facebook yesterday on one of the local gardening groups, a woman who lives in Perth metropolitan area had just discovered this thing called shot-hole borer and found that her trees were infested. So I think communication is the key, making sure we get the message out to everybody.
Councillor Omadei?
Madam President, just to add to Councillor Winfield's motion, which I think is a very important motion, we certainly will be under threat by this insect. One of the fortunate things that happens to us is that fruit fly is still remaining mainly in the metropolitan area. So we don't know about this, and we're hoping that the cold and the wet might keep them away, but I think it might be a forlorn hope, because with the amount of material that's coming that can't be totally inspected all the time, even though the systems will be thorough, and I understand, I compliment the government, are going to spend significant amounts of money to do some more surveillance on this. So I think it's incumbent on all of us and for us as governing body to get all the people that we know to be forever vigilant, because if we can stop this thing from coming in, you can imagine the impact it would have on our fruit and vegetables, particularly the avocado industry, which is significant in our area. So I urge everybody to be vigilant.
Thank you. I would just like to add to that I think it's very important that we do it as a collaborative body, in that it is the state, the Southwest Zone, the Warren Blackwood, and each of our local governments, that we put across a very strong message, and that communication is very, very strong. A wise woman said to me, coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. And I think if we can do that as a collaborative body, then that's how we will overcome this. And it would be a great catastrophe for our horticultural industries if this did come down here. And I certainly sympathise with the Hills Horticultural Precinct, which it has now gone through to Kalamunda and Mundaring, and I think it's prevention is definitely better than the cure. So, is there anyone that wants to speak against, or anyone else? Can we put that to the vote then, please, councillors? All those in favour? Carried 7-0. 24. 9.5.4, proposed new standard timeframe for development approval commencement. Councillor De Campo.
Thank you, Madam President, as per officer's recommendation.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Ivey. Councillor De Campo.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to commend staff for this initiative in this day and age, particularly when one proponent in Manjimup was telling me that Western Power are quoting 18 months before they will quote headworks, and then 18 months before they will implement headworks. So a 2-year planning approval certainly isn't enough to sort that out. And in that vein, the two hardest things to say in life is hello for the first time and goodbye for the last. And thank you, Jessica, for your time here. And I just wanted to put that on the record. I commend the motion to you.
Thank you. Councillor Ivey. Councillor Ivey, did you want to... are there any other speakers? Are there any speakers against the motion? No. Can we put that to the vote, please, councillors? All those in favour? Carried 7-0. Okay, 9.11.1. Request to access arts and culture reserve funds for the Walking Through a Songline exhibition. Councillor Ivey? Oh, sorry.
As per officer's
Councillor
recommendation.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Ivey. Thank you. Councillor Winfield, would you like to speak to the motion?
I will speak briefly because I've actually seen this. I was privileged to be invited to the opening of the Bula Bardic WA Museum some 2 or 3 years ago. This was a centrepiece of that. And having spent time in inland and the Pilbara, I get it, you know, it's a fantastic exhibition and it's really a great visual experience apart from anything else. So I recommend that we do this.
Awesome. Great. Councillor Ivey? Are there any speakers against the motion? Okay. Can we put that to the vote then, councillors? All those in favour? Is carried 7-0. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Item 10, late reports. We have none. Item 11, questions from members. Response to questions from members taken on notice. Councillor Darren did raise a question at the last meeting. Given that she is has a request for leave of absence, we will defer that answer until she is back so that she is within the chambers to hear the response. 11.2, questions from members. We have nil. 12, motions for consideration at the following meeting. There are none. 13, new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of the meeting. There are none. 14, meeting closed to the public. 14.1, matters for which the meeting may be closed. Councillor De Campo,
I'll move, Madam President, we go behind closed doors.
is there a seconder? Councillor Omadé, all those in favour? Carried 7-0. Excellent. Okay. 14.1.1 has passed as per the officer's recommendation, and I remind councillors to please keep that confidential, please, as it is a confidential item. It is. 14.1.2, proposed transfer of lease 5C Brockman Street, Manjimup, that council authorise the Chief Executive Officer to consent to the assignment of the lease of 5C Brockman Street, Manjimup, to the proponent, subject to 1, due diligence review as to the bona fides, 2, all costs associated with the preparation of the lease documents are the responsibility of the lessees, and 3, the proposed leasee being notified that building works are planned for 5D Brockman Street premise, which may cause disruption to the business at 5C Brockman Street. Okay. 15, applications for leave of absence. We have none. And 16, there being no further business to discuss, I wish to thank those in attendance and close the meeting at 6 o'clock. Thank you all very much.